Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing June TBR. I literally never do TBRs, especially like monthly TBRs, so don't expect this to be a norm. I don't know, I just felt the need to do this. I just wanted to be here telling you what I wanted to read in June. I never really have any strict TBRs, like you can't catch me having a strict TBR. I read what I want to read when I want to read it. A TBR just helps me out, like when I don't know what to read. I'm like, well, I could read one of these books. I hope I'm not being too quiet. I get like self-conscious that like people can hear me all the time and I gotta get out of that. Without further ado, I guess. One book that I want to read in June is The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. Yes, that's Kurt from Glee, if you're wondering. I am really excited to actually finally get to this book. I've had it for like 5 years, 6 years, like way too goddamn long. And I've always been meaning to get to it and then I haven't. And like lately, I just want to appreciate the fact that I do love middle grade / juvenile fiction. Like I love me a middle grade because nothing too awful can happen in a middle grade, you know? Like everybody's gonna be happily ever after and it's a cute story throughout. Like the journey, I can just appreciate so much. So I'm even more excited like now that I found this like newfound love of juvenile fiction. Like I feel like I really just need to get to this, you know? And I've seen the audiobook on Libby and it just makes me want to get to it even more. Like I definitely want to listen to it with the audiobook. I think I have actually started this. I got to page 12 and this is my bookmark. So yes, it's a playing card, like just a straight up playing card, not a bookmark that's supposed to look like a playing card. I'm excited. I've like literally just touched the prologue, so I can't even say that I've technically even started this, I don't feel. And you know, this is a whole series. Like it's intense. Like I didn't know this was gonna go on for so long, especially when I bought it. Like I literally, actually, this will tell me how long I've had it because I bought it the year that it came out. So a lot later than I thought. 2013 was when this paperback edition came out, and that's when I got it, I think. That's crazy. Okay. I'm the worst person to ask, like, how many years has it been? Like, I'm like, between 1 and 7. Anyways, I'm super excited for this. Okay. Next, we have got Shiver by Junji Ito. I have read a few other collections of his, but not this one. Obviously, that's why I want to read it now. I experience immense joy when I see Junji Ito's artwork, and that's all I need to know about myself to delve into this, okay? I feel like I've been denying myself joy for too long. Like, I have been picking up books that I know I'm not gonna like love. They're not gonna be my favorite. They're not gonna be impactful on me, and like in that way I feel like I've just been denying myself the joy of picking up something that I appreciate so much. Well, okay, I'm being chaotic. It's really fucking hot in here too, by the way. Like outside it's 86 degrees and in here I don't know if the AC is on. It's fine if it's not. I'm just totally chill with that, but we have fans, but like there's one in there and one in the bedroom and I'm not pulling one out, and that would be so annoying. Like fan noises in the background. I would never do such a thing, but it's really hot, so I'm a little disjointed. I should have gotten water or something before I came in here. Can you tell it's been a while since I've done a video? Like I feel so awkward for some reason, and this is the first time that's ever freaking happened. Am I whispering? Like I really feel like I'm not even like, and it's like super annoying because I feel like I can't even control my voice right now. Like it's like it has to be at this level. I don't if I go any louder, like I'm committing a sin or something, I don't know. Another book that I want to read this month is We Spread by Ian Reid. I like how I said it that way because it's like I'm actually currently reading that book and I'm like 75% of the way in. I absolutely am loving it, but this is Ian Reid's newest book and I've read both Foe and I'm Thinking of Anything, so I just decided to pick it up. I saw it on Libby and I'm so glad that I did that. I'm like, is this gonna be a 5-star, please? Because it's been a while since I've had a 5-star read, and when I started it, and I like yesterday I started it and I got to like 70%, and then this morning I read some more of it, and so I plan on finishing it today, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's like horror, but it's very literary horror, and the parts, like the most creepy parts, I don't think have even happened yet, or like the most horror ridden parts I don't think have even happened yet, and like I said, like I'm at 75%. There's definitely an atmosphere, like a forlorn atmosphere throughout the entire book, which I am loving. Like I think that's done really well. This might be my I'm thinking of ending things, because everybody freaked out about that book and they loved it and everything. I'm like, okay, it was all right, you know, it wasn't my new favorite, and I wish that I had that experience that everybody else did, but like now with Respread, I'm like this is my moment to be on the Ian Reid train. And then, you know, the same thing happened with Mona Awad. Like everybody loves Bunny. My Bunny is All's Well. Okay, you hear me? All's Well is spectacular, and Bunny I just didn't feel that way with. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Another book that I would like to read this month, 100 Years of Solitude, if you can't read that. 100 years. I said 100. That's something. Isn't that like kind of a dialect thing? I don't really know. I don't know shit about shit, but like it's interesting. I think some people say 100 and some people say 100, and I just realized I'm a 100 motherfucker. Anyways, this has just been on my radar for forever. I wish that I had picked up this copy that was in a little free library, because this is like an old version. Like you can tell this came out a bit ago. It's like my boyfriend's dad's, and he always got like already used books. Like he got old books, like these are all his as well. It's like first printing type shit. Like this person bought it forever ago, and then Sam's dad got it years later. It's pretty cool. But then it, like the font is a little annoying. It's like one of these numbers, and like whatever, you know, it has to be how it has to be. And I have an audiobook for it, like don't you worry. But I don't know, I wish I got the other copy, but I was like, well, I already have it, I don't need that, it's for somebody else. And I was being good about it. But you know, this is a classic, and I want to read one classic a month, so let it be this one. Honestly, would it be wrong if I didn't know, like if I said I didn't know what this is about? All I know is that there's like magical realism. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. And I've seen other covers of it, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing what you're putting down. I believe. I know, don't judge a book by its cover, but like, it does a lot. It helps me out personally, and there's so many covers of it, but I've like just kind of explored that side of it, like, but I have no clue what it's about. Anyway, another book I want to read is Bad Cree by Jessica Johns. I went through such a ride with wanting to read this book. At first I wanted to, because I love the title and the cover, this cover specifically, because there's a lot of different covers and some of them are not it, but this one is. And then I think I heard somebody talk shit about it, and they were like, that was such a disappointment. I'm like, okay, interesting, like, or something. There was something that like changed my opinion in a very vital way. And then I watched, maybe I'll read today, I watched her talk about Bad Cree, and she was just like describing what was happening, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to read that like ASAP. So I will be reading that in June. I'm very excited. This is like a horror as well. I'm in like my horror era, kind of. Like that's 3 books I read this month that are in that genre. Who am I? Another book that I want to read is a book called The Birds and Us. Well, I added the, there's no the, it's called Birds and Us. And from what I pick up, it's about like the historical importance, and like it's basically all about birds and how they have always been here throughout history. There's been like, they're kind of a mystery, yet they're so common. And you know, I love birds. I could love them more. I'm hoping that this book helps me love birds even more. I try to read like a nonfiction a month, at least one, and all the nonfictions that I've read are not very like educational, and they don't have to be, you know, a nonfiction is a nonfiction. I'm not out here being like, well, you're not reading smart nonfiction. Like, I love reading a good essay collection or something like that. Whatever. Like, I'm also okay with that. But I think that, like, just for me personally, I think it would be nice to have an educational one in there and like feel good about myself. Like, look at me, I'm learning things. It's fun to learn. Next one is a reread. And this will be my third time rereading it, but it's one of my favorites. Actor H. Eve Brown. It's just a comfy little vibe. Okay. Oh yeah, but that's another thing too. I want to annotate it. Like, not annotate. Like, I do not go crazy when it comes to my annotations. Like, if I decide to do so, which is not often, like, then I do. I don't know. It's just not that deep. And like, if I want to underline something here and there, I'm gonna do that. But I'm not gonna like make a whole show of it. I don't know. It's for my own self. Like, it's never gonna be presented to anybody else. But I can't write in all the margins, and so I can't even understand what the words are saying. That you will never catch me doing something like that. Like, it'll be more like underlying and then being like saying 1, 2, 3 words about something. I read the first chapter because I've been wanting to reread this for the last like 3 months, and I read the first chapter and I was like, no, you know what I need to do is I need to be high and annotate the fuck out of this and try to read as much as I can in one sitting. I think I would love doing that, and so I've been waiting for time to do that. But this month, Sam's mom is going out of town, so we are house sitting, and like, we do that sometimes, and I really want to do a whole vlog where I read 7 books in 7 days, like something like that. And I just think that this would be a perfect time to finally do that with this book. The last book that I have on my June TBR is The Flame by Leonard. That was real. Cohen. Leonard Cohen. I have had this for a hot minute, like 4 or 5 years, and it's just a whole thing about, oh yeah, by the way, apparently Leonard Cohen is a revered poet and musician whose fans span generations and whose work is celebrated worldwide. I didn't know that when I picked this up. I got it from a fucking like secondhand shop, but I thought it was interesting. The poems, notebooks, lyrics, drawings, and that's enough for me. I just want to see what this person can provide, if he can do something for me. I want to get back into my poetry moment, and I just miss poetry and lyricism like really hitting me in a spot, so I'm hoping that this can help me out with that. I'm very intrigued. I've always been very intrigued. I'm really excited to get to this. I'll probably read this in that same, like that 7 in 7 vlog as well, but I don't know. And then of course, you know, that's the physical TBR that I have here presented, but there's always the library too. I want to go to the library sometime soon. There's always Libby, you know. I'm always like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I'm not strict with my TBRs. Like, this is my TBR, and also anything else that I fucking find at the library, basically. Tentative TBR. Any TBR I ever do is going to be tentative. But it's sometimes fun to cross off, like, oh, I read that one, teehee. Anyway, what are you guys reading for June? I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you for watching this video. Over and out. What?